bitch looks big as fuck. Is he an alpha? He looks big as fuck. No, he's not. He's a damn it! Go. Alright fellas, I've got the Reaper thrown down, so we're gonna start working on throwing out these Rexes. Alright fellas, we're about to throw out the last tame. The Yudi. I'm like 90% sure I could have ran this with just 4 of these Rexes, but I have lost Alpha quite a few times and it's not very fun to farm up. So I did not feel like risking that. So we're gonna start this real quick. Oh shit. Oh, I was about to say all my stuff is gone. Okay. Yep, we're chilling. Buff real quick. And I literally just tamed this bitch like a couple hours ago. So, maybe kind of squishy. Hopefully it doesn't die. I don't know. Alright. Hell yeah, get him. Yeah, fellas, as presumed, we absolutely marched through that shit. Yeah, fellas, as I previously thought, we absolutely marched through that shit. No challenge at all. So, yeah, let's get this like 400 element. But I mean, it was definitely worth throwing out the Yudi and everything. It's like a... I don't really like taking risks when it comes to farming tributes. It's so fucking terrible. How much element is this again? Oh no, it's 442. I thought it was like 300, but 400 is crazy. Yes, the plan is what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn like 100, maybe 150 of the element into element shards, and then the rest of it we'll use to craft like tech grenades, a mech, and other tech stuff that we'll need. But right now, I don't really know what kind of tech stuff we'll need, so... Now I'm gonna be doing a little trick I like to call being a pussy. I had this crafted rep for quite a long time. So we're gonna put it down, and we're gonna craft a bunch of the element shards. Real quick. Boom. 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 Boom, 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 boom. Three, two, one. Alright. It's 4,500 shards. Alright everybody, I didn't really want to leave the video at that. I kind of wanted to show y'all how I do boss fights solo. So obviously tames are a very important part, but I don't really think that that's what most people struggle with. They struggle with the whole artifact and tribute thing. Me personally, I struggle with tributes more than artifacts. So I'm kind of going to show y'all where I get all my tributes from. It's kind of just you know, a little helpful tip, I guess. So to start out with, you get your Sarco skins, your Titanoboa Venom, and your RG Talons all over here in the snow, right over by my original base spot in my crouch rat hole. This is where you can get all the good tributes. It takes a lot of time to get the Titanoboa Venom, but everything else is pretty easy. And then right over here by Green Ob, there's a Spino spawn. So this one can have like 1 to 3 every time. And Spinos is by far the most annoying tribute to farm, just because like they don't really spawn all over the place. Actually, that's not true. They do spawn all over the place, but they're just much harder to find, I guess. So this is one of their spawns, but then also they spawn all along the rivers, going through the main, islands, I guess. So over here, on the edges of the swamp, and then all throughout these rivers, you can find Spinos. If other people are farming it, obviously it's going to be a little bit harder to find them, which on smalls, it's kind of how it is. It's a lot harder to get them that way. But, you can do it. It just takes time. So all throughout these, and then also in the volcano, there's like a couple ponds you can find them in. But that's kind of well known. So that gets rid of that. And then I think the most... Okay, the tribute that people struggle with the most, other than Spinosails and the underwater ones, is going to be the Megalania. So what I learned how to get Megalania is there is this cave right here. The best way to find it is these double waterfalls. And then you go into this little spot, and this is your Megalania spawn. I typically find them like right up here. They spawn in the mesh a lot of the time, that's why it sucks. But you find them all along these walls, sometimes on the ceiling up there, and then you can also find them like down here, right on the entrance. But they can also just be, all over the place like everything else is. So I know most people struggle with that, but here's the coordinates to the spot: 91.6, 63.3. There it is. And like I said, it's pretty easy to find because of these waterfalls. It's not too hard to find this spot at all, but yeah, once you do get to the spot, it'll take a couple runs to get 25 to run alpha, but, it's worth it, man. Now, obviously, you're going to get your Thylas all throughout the redwoods. The sauropod vertebrae. What I only kill for sauropod vertebrae is Diplos, because they're so easy to kill, and you get a good dragon, and you could just melt through them. Even the babies give you some, so they're pretty good. Yeah, obviously, that's all a no-brainer. Everybody knows where to get that shit. And for the most, I think, the most annoying to farm is the water tributes. So, obviously, Bassi and Megalodons, they're just going to be scattered like all along this place. You can find them all on the surface, It's not too hard to find. But Tusos, when there's, your alpha tribes that are scouting for Tuso tentacles and shit, they're going to be a little bit harder to find. But if you go all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, I honestly didn't think you'd come back here when I first, was playing on ASA, because I wasn't really a center main. I never really knew you could swim all the way down here, but at the bottom of the ocean, 63.3, 90.8, that's not the exact coordinates for this spot, but basically just this dark region in the ocean. Tuso spawn all over the place over here. This is where I got like my first couple bit of tributes, and that's where I first ran it, but once I saw the alpha tribes are like, farming it and shit, it didn't really end up working that well. So, the next best spot, there's a cave somewhere over here. I'll come back to when I find that. Alright, here's the cave. Entrance is about 40.9, 81.5. Don't completely quote me on that because it's a pretty big ass entrance. But this cave, it's pretty big and it goes into a bunch of different rooms. But if you just follow the different rooms, eventually you'll find a couple Tusos. I think since I'm in single player, they aren't really gonna spawn like crazy, but yeah, typically you can find them kind of all over the place. This lava river is kind of an indicator for me that you'll find some, because I always find them in the spot. But yeah, that's really it for the tributes. Now for artifacts, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I hate getting artifacts. There are some that you can get, you know, just by like going to an empty cave, because there's some caves people don't claim at all, and you can just, you know, get some scuba flippers and do all that kind of shit. And go to jump puzzle. A lot of the time that isn't claimed. But for the hard artifacts, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The best way to do that, because you're not gonna be able to raid out a Snow North to get those 2 artifacts in there. I've never gotten these artifacts on my own because Snow North is literally always built on smalls. I don't think I've ever been to a server where it wasn't. Lava Cave sometimes it's not built, so you can get your artifacts from over there and shit. But yeah, I mean that's kind of it for that part of it. It really just takes time. You have to be patient. It takes me about 2 days as a solo to farm all of that shit, and obviously I'm not putting in 48 hours of doing it. It's like just constantly, when I'm playing the game, I'm trying to do that.